Why? Because remember what we said, in promotion you conduct a lot of public relations activity. And public relations will help you to build image. It will help you to build credibility. It will help you to create awareness about the activities of the organization. Then finally, promotion is equally needed to maintain the high material standard of living within the society. So, with our understanding of why we need promotion in marketing, we are to move into another area which is equally very important, promotional mix. We want to understand what is promotional mix. When we say promotional mix, they are communicational in nature. They are those promo tools. When you hear promo tools, we mean promotional mix. Some promotional mix are sometimes be referred to as promotional tools. That is promo tools. So when you hear promo tools or promotional mix in marketing, they include advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and publicity. When we say promo tools or promotional mix strategy, we mean advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and publicity. What is advertising? Advertising is simply a platform of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services by an identified sponsor. We are trying to understand promo tools. In other words, promotional mix. There are those elements referred to as advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and publicity. This is what constitutes promotional mix element. Advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and publicity. What is advertising? To understand advertising, it has been defined as a platform of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services by an identified sponsor. Yes, if you look at advert generally, to advertise as a marketer, you must pay a media fee to a media concern so that the media concern can advertise the services on your behalf. This is the model where we say it is a platform. You can't conduct advertising campaigns without paying for it. This is the more reason why we have to say it is a platform. You pay to advertise. And it is a non-personal presentation of ideas. The advertising messages being generated, you did not generate these ideas. You, the marketer. An expert, advertising specialist, an advertising agent generated the ideas on your behalf. You pay them for your services. And the moment you pay them for their services, the advertising messages being generated becomes the client property. It becomes the client property. But you pay the advertising specialist, which is the advertising agency, their what? Their commission for their services. That's why we say it is a platform of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services. You pay to the expert for the expert to generate the advertising messages. And if you look at Nigeria, what is happening in Nigeria, we have several advertising agencies who specializes in designing advertising messages of all sorts. They generate the ideas to help you project the image of your organization, to market your product. You pay them for their services. And the moment the ideas are being generated and you pay them, then the ideas become the client property. So this is what we mean by advertising. It is a platform of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services by an identified sponsor. You can see we say by an identified sponsor. Why? Because advertising is being run under what? Under a disclosed identity, not under a closed identity. Whoever that is advertising, you must be able to establish the identity of the advertiser. You see the name of the company. If it is University of Abuja that is advertising, you see the name of University of Abuja advertising. If it is Cadbury Nigeria PLC, you see the name of Cadbury Nigeria. If it is Nestle Food, you see the name of Nestle Food. So it is being run by an what? Identified sponsor. Then personal selling as another second element of the promotional mix. You know, we have 4 elements of the promotional mix: advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, and publicity. The second element is what? Personal selling. When we say personal selling, it involves oral communication between the buyer and the seller. Face-to-face conversation between the buyer and the seller. That is personal selling. Personal selling effort. You want to sell. By the time you want to sell the product, you communicate orally through the use of the word of mouth. That's why we say oral communication between the buyer and the seller, all in an effort to convince the customer into buying. If you want to understand personal selling, to greater effect, you look at what is happening in some of our markets within the country. For instance, the Apple market. You go to Apple Village, you want to buy maybe a motor tire. You meet the evil man that wanted to sell in shop A. The first shop you've entered, you want to buy. How much is the tire? The evil man will say, my tire is 35,000. Then you as the customer, because of your sensitivity, your price sensitive, say, 35,000. The last time I bought it, 20,000. If you can sell, let me pay you so that I can pay. The evil man will not say, my friend, 20,000. No, it never even reach cost price. Never even reach cost price. So it's up to you whether to buy or to move to the next shop. So because you enjoy your independence as a potential customer, you enjoy your independence, you enjoy your sovereignty, you insisted that if the evil man is not selling the tire to you at the rate of 20,000, you're moving to the next shop. So the evil man said, so my friend, because you're my friend, instead of 35,000, give me 25. I've reduced 10,000. Then you insisted, having known at the back of your mind that you enjoy your independence. If you cannot sell at that 20, you insisted that you move to the next shop. And the evil man refused. As you wanted to move into the next shop, so that you can go and try the other shop, then the evil man grabs your hand like this, my friend, come back. I'm going to sell to you. Give me the 20,000. I will give you at the rate of the 20,000. But I want to tell you, I'm giving you because you're my friend. I want you to come back tomorrow. But now you should know that what you're paying, I'm not making a dime as a gain from this transaction. This is a typical personal selling effort. This is a typical personal selling technique between the buyer and the seller using oral conversation. So this is what we mean by personal selling. The effort you're making through the use of the word of mouth, using oral communication to convince customers into buying. This is exactly personal selling. Then sales promotion. Well, sales promotion as another third element of promotional mix is somehow difficult to define. Why? Because sales promotion is a non-recurring promotional activity between the manufacturer, the marketing intermediary, as well as the end user. If you were to look at it, sales promotion generally, it involves the use of incentives to stimulate buying. Now, what makes sales promotion a non-recurring promotional activity? You remember what I said, it is difficult to define. But however, we said it is simply a non-recurring promotional activity between the what? Between the buyer and the seller. So we're being made to understand that going by this statement that sales promotion doesn't occur so often. Why is it that it doesn't occur so often? Why? Because of the huge sums of money involved. To conduct sales promotional activities, you must spend heavily. You give quantity discount, you give cash discount, you organize contests and give prizes, you give samples, you give coupons, you give premiums. These are all sales promotional activities. You spend heavily to conduct these activities. You organize contests, you give cash prizes. Money will go out of the organization. You give quantity discount. Money will go out of the organization. You give premiums. Money will go out of the organization. So if you are to look at the sales promotional activities, it involves huge sums of money. You spend heavily to conduct it. This is the more reason why we said it doesn't occur so often. It is a non-recurrent. It doesn't occur so often. It is seasonal. On special occasions, you conduct sales promotional activities seasonal based on what? Special occasions. At times, you see some marketers in Nigeria conducting special sales promotional activities during festive period, during Christmas, during Salah, New Year. They give discount. Why are they doing this? Because they want to influence consumers into buying. It's as part of their strategy. They give discount. They give not only quantity the discount, even cash discount, because the discount we have two different discounts. It could be the kind of discount that is in quantity. If you buy up to 100, you'll be given another discount of a given X amount. No discount in monetary items. It is cash discount at a discounted rate. So if you have to look at it generally, sales promotion is a non-recurring promotional activity between the manufacturer, the marketing intermediary, as well as the end users. At times, you see some companies conducted their sales promotion activities through chains of marketing intermediaries. The manufacturers, the wholesalers will be conducting these activities on behalf of the manufacturers. Or at times, the retailers conducting the activity, the wholesalers conducting the activities on behalf of the manufacturers, down to the end users. So if you want to understand sales promotion clearly, it involves the use of incentives to stimulate demand. It involves the use of incentives to stimulate demand. You give a lot of incentives. For instance, if you are involved in sales promotion, it is likely going to help you to stimulate demand. When you see somebody selling orange and you pleaded for a free sample, the man gave you one freely of the orange and cut it, test it. You tested and you found out that the orange is sweet. You suddenly develop the urge to have it. You buy. That is pre-sample. Pre-sample is part of sales promotional strategy. And pre-sample will help you to stimulate consumer trial. Like the man selling meat. You meet the suya man, you want to buy suya, you're contemplating with your girlfriend whether the meat is not likely going to be sweet. Suddenly the suya man decided to use his strategy, sales promotional strategy on you. You cut a small piece of the meat. Instead of giving, he gave it to your girlfriend. The girlfriend said, it's sweet. Then you suddenly develop the urge to buy. Initially, you wanted buying 1,000. You ended up asking him to serve you, to give you 2,000. That is what? Use of what? Free sample. Free sampling tend to help stimulate consumer trial. So you come up with so many strategies as part of your sales promotional activities, but you should have it at the back of your mind, learners. We spend heavily to conduct a lot of sales promotional activities. This is the more reason why we say it doesn't occur so often. It is a non-recurring promotional activity between the manufacturer, the marketing intermediaries, and the end users. Then finally, the other last element of the promotional mix, which is what? Which is publicity. When you hear publicity, it is same as public relations in marketing. Why do we need publicity? We need a publicity for so many reasons. When we say publicity, we mean public relations in marketing. What is public relations? What is publicity? When we say publicity in marketing, it's just the opposite of advertising. Remember what we say about advertising. It is a paid form of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services by an identified sponsor, while publicity is a non-paid form of non-personal presentation of ideas by an unidentified sponsor. In the case of advertising, we say it is a paid form, while in the case of publicity, we say it is a non-paid form. In the case of advertising, we said generation of an idea by somebody, non-personal presentation of ideas under publicity. Are you getting it, class? Look at a paid form, as the case of advertising is. It is a paid form of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services. While publicity, it is a paid form. It is a non-paid form. You don't pay for publicity, unlike advertising where you pay for it. Publicity, you don't pay for it. Even though, to some certain extent, publicity people get paid for their services in the form of brand envelope. But you should know that brand envelope is always a privilege. It's not a right in journalism. But learn how to what? Learn how to give the brand envelope. Why? Because the brand envelope will help you to achieve a lot of things in marketing. The brand envelope will help you in using the journalist to build the image. It will help you to use the journalist in building credibility. It will help you in using the journalist to create awareness. And while you're doing it, it's helping you to hold down your promotion cost. It will be cheaper. It will be cheaper than advertising, even though you're spending the brand envelope. It has different names. Brand envelope has different names within this journalism cycle. Some call it last paragraph. Some call it egunji. It has different names. Some call it conclusion. And you can imagine a story without conclusion, a story without last paragraph, a story without egunji. So you must be very, very careful while working with publicity people. Why? Because they can build and they can mar. They can build you and they can destroy you easily. They believe in the power of their pens. When we say publicity, the publicity people, the pressmen, the journalists, they believe in their power, in the power of their pens. they can use their pens to destroy, they can use to build. That's why they always believe in that their slogan. The pen is mightier than the sword. This is their belief. So as a marketer, know how to be working with publicity people so that they can help you to build the image, to build the credibility, to create awareness. You assume that yes, that their brown envelope is necessary, and you always try to make it available. But while you're doing it, you don't allow them to see it as a right. They should always see it as a privilege. So if you were to look at publicity generally, it will help you to build the image. Why? Because it is somebody blowing your own trumpet rather than you blowing your trumpet. Somebody helping you to blow your trumpet rather than you coming out to be saying so many good things about your product and services, just like as in the case of advertising. So I've dealt with this. As you can see, it is a platform of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services by an identified sponsor. So also personal selling involves oral presentation or conversation. I think I've explained that to greater effect. Sales promotion, it is a short-term incentive to encourage purchase, which I equally explained. Publicity is another form of mass selling. It is any unpaid form of non-personal presentation of ideas, goods, and services. I think I've explained this to a greater extent. So I want to stop at this juncture so that I can allow students to embark on further reads to understand the reasons for advertising in marketing. Why do you advertise? As you can see, I came up with some points on why we advertise as marketers. We advertise because we want to create awareness. We want to ensure that customer interests or desires are met. And again, we advertise in a bit to boost our sales. We equally advertise to build brand loyalty or to maintain it at the existing level. We equally advertise in the process of launching of a new product. Why? Because the assumption is that people may not be aware of the existence of a new product. So there is the need for the marketer to find ways on how to create the necessary awareness. And the best way to do it is through advertising. And again, to change the customer attitude. Yes, when you advertise, it will help you to be changing customer attitude. And it will help you, the product, in achieving some level of strategic penetration into the market. Again, advertising will help to support the activities of the distribution channels, such as supporting the pull strategy. So if you were to look at it, we have so many reasons why we advertise as marketers. It will help the company to build on its brand image I've explained, and it will remind and reassure customers. And again, advertising will go a long way to help in offsetting competitor advertising, and it may defend the business as well as respond to other competitive nature of the entire environment. And again, it will help to boost public standing. This is another most important reason why we must advertise as marketers. As you are advertising, it is helping you in boosting your what? Your public standing. Companies can boost their public standing with advertisement that link them with generally approved campaigns. This is the more reason why you see some marketers participating into the activities of politicians, government, all in an effort to boost their standing. You have seen what Dangote is doing. So this is what advertising can do. I attend social events, make donations, sponsorship of events, as well as so many other things. So it's very, very important in marketing. It's part of the promotional effort. So you equally make effort to understand factors influencing promotional mix strategies. 4 factors that should be taken into account in deciding on promotional mix. Anytime you want to promote, you should be able to conduct some decisions. There are some determinants. What are those determinants? Look at the 4 determinants. One, funds availability. That has to be ascertained. 2, the nature of the product in question that you want to advertise or you want to promote. Then the nature of the product, as well as the stages of the product life cycle. These are the 4 major determinants of promotional activities. Whenever you want to promote, number 1 determinant is the nature of the product. I think this should be first. Nature of the product in question should be the first. What is the nature of the product in question that you want to promote? Is it an industrial good or a consumer good? Why? Because how you promote industrial product will differ with the manner in which you are to promote consumer good. They require different strategies. That's why classification of the product should be paramount. What is the nature? Is it a consumer good? Why? Because If you answer the question on the nature of the product, it will help you in coming up with the right decision as it affects the channel. What will be the right channel? What will be the right advertising message? And again, funds availability. Remember how we define advert. You may choose to go into promotion, and as part of your promotion, you may choose to advertise. And advertising is a platform. You pay a media concern to advertise your services. So funds availability becomes major determinant. You spend heavily to promote. That's why it's part of what? Major determinants. Then nature of the market. What is the nature of the market that you want to promote your product into? You want to target at? Is the market large in size? Is it small in size? Is it the kind of market that is associated with brand loyalists? Is it the kind of market that is associated with literate purchasers or illiterate purchasers? That's why we say you define the pictures of the market in terms of its nature. What is the nature of the market? That has to be determined. All will go a long way in helping you to determine the right product, the right promotional strategy to adopt. They are major determinants. Anytime you want to promote, look at this determinant: funds availability, nature of the market, as well as nature of the product. And finally, the stages of the PLC. When we say stages of the PLC, we mean the stages of the product life cycle. No matter the nature of the product, it is expected that it must pass through a particular life cycle. This life cycle, the product life cycle, is being divided into 4 stages. The introductory stage of the product life cycle, the growth stage of the product life cycle, the maturity stage of the product life cycle, as well as the decline stage of the product life cycle. A typical product must pass through these 4 stages over its lifetime. But what we are saying, as it is passing through these 4 stages, you will be expected to be evaluating and re-evaluating your marketing strategies so that it can be in conformity with the changing nature of the marketing environment. We are coming to a topic called product life cycle strategy. By the time we treat that topic, you should be able to understand what I'm trying to explain here. But briefly, what we are saying, the product life cycle tend to ascertain competitive position of companies, to ascertain whether they are leaders, whether they are followers, whether they are challengers, or they are even niches within the industry. It will help you to ascertain your competitive position, to ascertain where you rightly belong. What is your competitive position? Are you a leader within the industry? Are you just a follower within the industry? Or you're a challenger within the industry? Or you're a niche within the industry? So whatever the competitive position determines how you promote. For instance, now let's look at the soft drink industry. We have Coca-Cola as the leaders in the Nigerian industry within the soft drink industry. They are at their peak. They belong to their maturity. If you want to compete with them in your promotional activity, you as a niche, you as just a follower, somebody who is just coming into the environment newly, you are not known. People are not buying your drinks. They are not aware of your drinks, and you're coming to start competing with Coca-Cola. You want to start promoting your product in the manner that Coca-Cola is promoting our own product. Certainly, it will lead to failure. You're bound to fail as a marketer. That's why we said, ascertain your competitive position first. Try to understand where you rightly belong. Are you a leader within the industry? Are you a challenger within the industry? Are you just a follower within the industry? Or you're a niche? This will help you to determine how you're going to compete with others. So you must take decision as to this aspect. So I want to stop at this juncture so that I can allow you more time. You go and study what we have done. If you have questions, I already made available my contact. So let me be contacted whether online or off the line, but preferably online, using my mails as well as other social media handles of communication has been made available within the center. I will always be at your service. And again, I'm going to create another forum that we can meet face-to-face after the online facilitation so that we can dwell on some of these issues raised. So in the next facilitation, I will be expected to come and deliver lectures on marketing management as well as other important topics such as consumer behavior, marketing environment, as well as marketing and society. So in the next facilitation, I should be able to cover up. So I want to thank you. God bless.